I was having y'all but Rico from Street Scores U. This is my first recorded video for my new Street Scores U page where I'm be covering mostly Georgia stuff, but a lot of notable things going on in college. But again, most notably, Georgia was starting off today with a UGA recruiting watch episode. We're going to be taking a look at five-star defensive lineman Eddrick Houston. I want to look at him because I do feel like it's quite likely that he commits to Georgia and joins Georgia. Five-star guy and everything, but it's not for certain. So I mean, once we start getting some more commits, because I'm late, maybe I'll go back and look at the Dylan Raiola and some of the other guys that have already committed. And I know for a fact when KJ Bolden commits, I'm gonna do one for him. But I want to also take a look at guys that haven't committed yet, and so we can build up some of the hype and hope that they do. And you never know, maybe they just happen to see this film session and be like, you know what, Georgia might be a good place, man. I'll get a lot of coverage and stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's just my way of trying to help in any way that I can. So we're going to take a look at a lot of his highlights from his own huddle page, and we're going to try to look at what's his ball get off like. Does he have a high motor? Does he come with great technique already? Does he have active hands? I mean, granted, as a high schooler, so we do kind of got to look at the tape a little bit differently than I do when I'm on my Street Scores channel, mostly for my Commanders, my Washington Commanders, where I'm taking a look at like this guy's a grown man in the NFL and he needs to be doing these type of things. We got to kind of take into the account that it's not only these guys in high school, but a lot of the times the tape we'll look at not only will be somebody's junior year, but like in Dylan Raiola's case, all we have is sophomore year tape to go off with him. So you kind of have to take that into effect, but at the same time, we got to be critical because at some point they're going to have to learn these things. And if you come to Georgia, you're definitely gonna have to learn these things quickly, especially if you want to get any type of playing time before your junior year. If you want to go out there and be the next Michael Williams and Malachi Starks, where you're playing meaningful snaps as a freshman, especially Malachi Starks, you got to go out there, and it's not just being physically talented. There's a lot of mental and technique stuff there as well. So again, we're going to take into account the fact that these are high schools, but at the same time, we got to be critical about everything. So we're looking at strength, we're looking at power, most notably ball get off, because that's just something, it's like you either you have it or you don't. I mean, you can definitely get into the weight room and try to make it better, but it just seems like a lot of the guys that don't have it coming out of high school usually don't end up getting it by the time they get to the NFL. A lot of the guys that have it in high school end up having it in the NFL. That's just how it works. One of those things that's really hard to coach. Of course, you can get them in the weight room, you can get them to squat better, and that should help, but it's not only physical, it's also mental as well. Sometimes it's just naturally given ability. So again, ball get off, strength, active hands. I'm not expecting a lot of technique and things, but are your hands active? Or are you trying a lot of different stuff? Are you trying to counter after your first move doesn't work? Are you going to your next move? All of that type of stuff. So we're going to take a look into all of that, but before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get notification immediately. And every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one, most notably these film session reactions for these prospects, especially potential Georgia commits. Stay tuned for more videos just like this on the Street Scores U page. Again, my main page is Street Scores with the Commanders, but I'm also about to start doing a lot of content for Street Scores U, and I'm trying to get to the point where I'm doing it daily. And without further ado, let's get it.
Let's start that meeting. I wanted to go play right then.
All right, and with Eddrick Houston, I like to look at the On3 industry ratings because they show everybody's ratings. Even though if I had to pick one source to look at, I typically go to 247 Sports if I have to admit. But I also like On3 a lot as well. Those are my top two. And again, I go to On3 because they show us everybody. So according to On3's industry ranking, he's a 5-star, 15th player overall, the 3rd in Georgia alone. Man, Georgia produces crazy talent. Georgia, Texas, Florida, man, some places that just produce insane talent. And then 247 has him as a 27th overall player, but still a 5-star. Georgia would love to have him. He's a game changer potentially, man. I mean, if we're looking for that next Jordan Davis type of, Jalen Carter type of guy, this is one of those guys with those ceilings. I like Justin Green a lot. And I think he's one of those guys with a crazy ceiling that's only going to get better and better and better, because we saw his jump from his previous season to this past season that just happened. And if he continues that type of development and jumping, mostly it was just body development, like he just became stronger, bigger, faster. If he continues to do that, who knows what his ceiling could be, how great he can be. But if we're talking about the next potential Jalen Carter type of guy, you're trying to look at a guy of Eddrick Houston's caliber. Again, love Justin Green. I'm very happy to have him. But Eddrick Houston is closer to like a Jalen Carter type of prospect. I mean, honestly, I think the next Jalen Carter could be somebody that's already from the 2023 recruiting class, Jordan Hall. I'm that high on him. But I mean, you can never have too many Jalen Carters, right? And I'm not saying any of these guys will be, because you can argue Jalen Carter is the best player to enter the draft and go to the NFL since Aaron Donald out of the interior defensive line. Like, I mean, I'm that high on him. A lot of people, the general consensus is. So it's not like Jalen Carter's just grow on trees. But if we're talking about who has the best chance to be that guy, you have Jordan Hall, who's already on the roster, and potentially Eddrick Houston. Again, love Justin Green, but Eddrick Houston has that type of potential, man. It's right there. You're going to see it when we get into this film. And already On 3 has him predicted to go to Georgia with a 31.4%. I think he is leaning towards Georgia. You got to think about the fact that he is from Beaufort, Georgia. And even though Georgia has not done a great job with recruiting Beaufort and Gwinnett and stuff like that, you just saw Sammy Brown go to Clemson, and that just seems to happen over and over again a lot of the time. I'm thinking that we may be able to pull off Eddrick Houston and KJ Bolden, very honestly though, and that should be able to change the whole narrative, shift the entire thing completely backwards, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully we can start, and I mean, of course, Justin Green as well from the same general area. Hopefully we can start focusing on those areas a lot, because we do really well from random small towns in Georgia, random cities in deep South Georgia, everywhere like that, and then we do really well with Atlanta as well. But for some reason, Gwinnett, Beaufort, I don't know what it is. We got to break that curse, and it looks like we're getting close to doing that. I'm not gonna lie, Eddrick Houston could be the start of that, whether it's him or KJ Bolden that commits first. And instead of wasting more of y'all time, because we're already pretty far into this video and we haven't looked at any tape, but y'all are gonna get used to that. If you don't know me from Street Scores, you're gonna know that I will talk y'all heads off, but I'm just really passionate. That's what I do, man. But going ahead and get into the film session, and for some reason they don't have the little indicators here, but he is number 0. So first of all, I love the fact that he plays defensive end and tight end. That's another thing I like about KJ Bolden as well. He looks like one of the best offensive players in Georgia and one of the best defensive players in all of Georgia. A highly competitive state for football. And then Eddrick Houston, of course, he's a way better defensive lineman than he is tight end, but the fact that he excels at tight end as well shows his athleticism. That's just not common. That's rare. That's just not a thing that typically happens. Also, I like the number 0 for a defensive lineman, potential edge rusher. Completely depends on what you want to do. Again, this is him right here. I'm about to just show y'all every time. It depends on what you want to do. Do you want him to stay as lean as he is? I mean, he has somewhat of like almost like a 7-foot wingspan. If you want him to be somewhat of like an outside guy, that could work. You could get him to become some type of like outside edge rusher, kind of like a Michael Williams type of thing. That is a thing that could happen, but I honestly feel like you beef him up and you let him play 3 tech and just let him work from there. But again, he's number 0, but this is some of what you can do if you want him to stay the weight that he is. And this is a guy that never gives up on the plays, constantly hustling, high motor, and I love that, because some of the more talented guys, especially when you know you're like at the minimum a 4-star, especially a 5-star player like that, they typically give up on plays, but he hawked that down the whole way. Just remember where he was, man. This is him right here. The ball is thrown, instead of being like, yeah, my teammates got it, this is him running down the field to go make this play right now. That is a crazy motor, especially that's high ethics. That's a lot of want to from a guy that's supposed to be one of the more talented players on the team, man. I absolutely love that right there. Big fan of the motor. Again, a lot of great prospects don't come with that. And then here he goes again, trying to hawk something down from behind. I really appreciate that from my boy Eddrick Houston. Yes sir, yes sir. Next play, we got Eddrick Houston right here. It look like they run a lot of just 3 defensive linemen, then a bunch of DBs out there basically. I guess a couple of linebackers, but I mean, these guys are on an island. I mean, it's 5 linemen, 5 offensive linemen, 3 defensive linemen, and the ball get off was insane alone. I mean, he caught the defensive lineman just off of that. Now, I don't know if that was hands to the face a little bit, but you see the strength. You see the strength. I would have preferred for him to stay a little bit lower there the most of that play, but I mean, the strength is evident, man. I mean, Lord have mercy. Somebody pick up their child. Somebody pick up their child. Save that quarterback's life, man. It's dangerous out there for that man. Oh my lord. Here goes Eddrick Houston in more of like a defensive tackle role rather than edge rusher, kinda, I guess. And I mean, one-on-one. And I want to give him so much credit. I do, because the ball get off is amazing. The strength is amazing. Golly, man. But what was this guard doing, man? What kind of backpedaling stutter step thing was that? That was awful. But shouts out to Eddrick Houston for taking advantage of it. You can't knock him for the guys that he's going against. I mean, that was just terrible technique from the guard. That just looked so sloppy. It may not even been the technique. I think it's just his lack of athleticism. He made the technique look weird, because the technique technically wasn't wrong. It just looked so bad. And by the time he made contact with Eddrick Houston, he just wasn't ready. He got his hands up late. Eddrick Houston is already digging into his chest. Look at the ball get off. Look at the explosion. Look at the strength. I would have loved for him to bring the quarterback down right there, but you know, great play against the guard. Is that the guard right there that's struggling? Oh my lord. Then we got Eddrick Houston right in the middle. Like, oh, great play. I like the hands right there. First of all, I love the ball get off. I love the strength, because as soon as they pop up, everybody else is trying to get their guy backwards, and Eddrick Houston I mean, it's like those guys didn't even exist. This guy, he just ignored him like that. This left guard didn't even exist on the play to him, and then he got rid of the center like he was a little boy. Oh my lord, I love the hands too. It's not only the strength, because if you're just pure strength and you're just doing the bull rush, you don't disengage from this guy as quickly as you do, and you're probably not ready to make the tackle on the running back as quickly as it is. It's the hands. It's not just the natural talent. It's the want to, it's the motor in the hands to get that offensive lineman off of you and to get moving. I don't know what blocking scheme they're trying to do, because it's like they blocked them with two people but kind of blocked them with none at the same time. Don't do that no more against Eddrick Houston, dog. We got Eddrick Houston again, nose tackle again, straight up against the center. Again, you could play him 5 tech, 3 tech, straight nose guard at the 0. Oh my god. I don't even know what to analyze from this. The offensive lineman looked like he was getting bullied the whole time. Look at his head getting bobbed back every second. Bloop, 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 bloop. Just and then the poor quarterback never saw it coming. Oh my god, is this a left-handed quarterback too? Oh, so his back was to Eddrick Houston. He didn't even see it coming. I mean, who expects their center to be in their lap that quickly? Oh my lord, the ball get off was nice there, but he got hands on the offensive lineman better than the offensive lineman got hands on him. So that's already an advantage, and that's why he's able to bully him like this. The offensive lineman at this point is in recovery mode, doing everything he can to gain some ground, some type of leverage, some sort of an advantage back over the play. Eddrick Houston was like, I'm not having none of that. I got you beat immediately, and I'm gonna keep you beat all the way back into the quarterback. And that's just the sad ones too. Like, if he would have just beat this guy right here, get rid of him, and then just have an easy run at the quarterback, that's great too, and ideally that's what you prefer. But this bully ball right here is just so much more fun to watch, man. Oh my lord, Eddrick Houston, why'd you have to do kid like that, man? All right, now we got Eddrick Houston, I guess 3 tech. I guess that's what you want to call it. I like that play, but it's not really much to take, because it's not even like they really tried to block him. I mean, I guess this guy was supposed to slide over and do it, but Eddrick Houston's great ball get off made it to where this guy, he's already lost right here. Eddrick Houston already has the helmet that's the furthest down the, through the line of scrimmage. That's how you can tell his ball get off. That's how you can compare his to everybody else's. Look at where their feet are and everything. Eddrick Houston got off the ball quicker and better, more explosive than everybody else on the defensive line. These may be some talented young guys, but first of all, this is the same center we've been looking at, I believe, and you see what Eddrick Houston did to him and what this guy's doing to the other person that's on Eddrick Houston's team. But either way, I mean, I just don't know why they thought that this tackle could slide over here quick enough to get in front of this guy. This guy's ball get off is too good, and he's gonna stay active with his hands enough to just get people off of him. Like, get off of me, move, I'm trying to make a play, and I love that. And just to let y'all know, this is like my first time seeing a lot of these plays. Not all of them, because of course I've watched Eddrick Houston every now and then just to get a good feel of what Georgia's trying to recruit some of the best players out there, especially if they're from the state of Georgia. If they're in state, of course I've watched some of them, but a lot of this is like a new thing to me. That's why I'm kind of like, you know, trying to guess what's going on. Oh my lord, was that a swim move? What was the technique there? The ball he was a little late getting off the ball, but he's just so explosive it didn't matter. And then the hand usage, I mean, 75, come on now. If the guy you're supposed to be blocking is this far behind you this quickly, running back just got the ball. I know the running back is like, come on, dog. Like, golly, man, look at The way the running back was laying on the ground after was like a Family Guy character when they get hurt. They be looking all like this. That man looked like roadkill because of number 75 getting swam over immediately. Oh my lord. How did you know this would work like this? This is my first time really seeing them do a swim move. So that was interesting. Oh my lord. I mean, that's how you draw it up too. When you practice it, that's literally how you draw it up. But it looks like it's a cone or a dummy in front of him. Number 75 didn't do any better than the dummies that Eddrick Houston practices against. And again, poor running back because he just got the ball. Look at him. Just roadkill, man. I feel so sorry for him, man. You deserve better than that. I promise you. All right, now we got Eddrick Houston on the outside again as well. And good dip to get around. But I think this is him hawking the play down from behind again, I'm assuming. Again, best player on the defense, I would say. And he's the one hustling down the field to make these plays. Let's go to the next camera angle. Again, this is Eddrick Houston. I'm going to try to follow him with my mouse this whole time. And that's a good move to almost get to the quarterback. But look at him. He is not giving up. He is not giving up. He's not giving up. He is not playing, man. He hawked that play down, man. Again, the motor to make plays like that when you're the most talented guy on the team is very rare. Because there's a lot of talented guys that once their head gets boosted to a certain point, they start to get that ego. They're like, I'm not running 30 yards down the field to tackle a guy from behind. We got DBs and linebackers for that. Why would I do that? And the fact that he's doing that as a 5-star, he already knows he's a 5-star, or at the very least is going to be a 5-star. And the fact that he's doing stuff like that already before Coach Smart even gets a hold of him, that's amazing, man. I'm really excited about that. I really hope we're able to pull this off and bring him in, man. Remember, he's visiting us June 9th, which is tomorrow, I believe. So, man, hey, who knows? Maybe he commits after that. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, he's already a commit. I would absolutely love that. All right, we'll take a look at some more plays. Just a few more. We got Eddrick Houston at the bottom, and oh my lord, that tackle had no chance. It didn't even look like Eddrick Houston had a lot of great bend there. There was a little bit of bend, but it just more so looks like the tackle didn't care. Like, what was this? Is he tired? Is this like a lack of, like, what was that? I know Eddrick Houston is explosive. His ball get off is amazing. And maybe that's all it was. Maybe the offensive tackle did really try, and Eddrick Houston is just so much better of a natural athlete, and the ball get off was so explosive that the guy wasn't ready. But I mean, golly, talk about being a turnstile. And then again, the motor to go hawk that play down. He didn't give up. He wanted to be the one that made the play, not somebody else. All right, now we finally got an indicator. So now I can take my hand off of my mouse and keep it pushing. We got him on the edge, bullying him. Not giving up. I appreciate it right there. Would have preferred a better, quicker move to get to the quarterback sooner, but again, I love that motor. Look at the double team, the spin move I'm not mad at, and then the motor again to come down and hustle and make that play, man. I really appreciate it. Then, I mean, unblocked virtually. I mean, I guess we brought over a running back or a receiver to block him. That didn't affect anything. Oh, there we go. I'm starting to see some technique. That's what I want to see. I'm starting to see a little bit of hand usage right there. There goes the active hands that I remember seeing in other clips. That's what I love to see, man. We need that. Again, you're a natural athlete. Coming out of high school, you're going to be more athletic than the guys blocking you more times than not. Even if you're in Georgia, if you're just the caliber of player of Eddrick Houston. But when you get to college, other guys are just as freaks as you are, especially if you go to Georgia. The linemen that you're going to go against in practice every day, every week, every month for the next 3 years, I'm assuming, because he's that caliber of player, but you never know, maybe 4 years. They're going to be just as big of a freak athlete as you, if not more. So you're going to need technique to succeed against these guys. And I love the fact that I'm starting to see some of that. I would have preferred for them to stay a little bit lower right there, but that's cool. That's cool. I'm not mad at that. Let's see what we're doing right now. I like the way that he keeps his head up. That means that if Kirby Smart wants to do 2 gapping, we can, because that is a guy that's willing to keep his head up to make sure he's looking at what's going on. All right, where's Eddrick Houston on this play? What are we doing? Is he on offense? This is one of them offensive plays. Is he blocking? I think he was blocking on that play. Whatever though, we're not here for that. Oh, we are. I guess we're here for blocking. Oh my lord. I mean, granted there was a double team, but golly, yeah. Show me some defense. Show me some defense, man. What we got going on right now? Talk to me. What we doing on this edge? I'm expecting to see some technique. Oh yeah, that's what I like. He got a little lost in the sauce, a little bit lost his balance, but I like that attempt to go outside. He probably been hitting them with an outside move all day. And look at somebody meme this, man. Somebody Go ahead and edit him out of him. I'll edit him out of this picture, like Photoshop him, and then put him in something. Just go ahead and lay him on a bed, or have him put a tutu around him doing the ballerina move. This is a meme waiting to happen. This is meme material for sure. Cause what's going on? But I love Eddrick Houston starting outside, and then he's probably been hitting them outside the whole game, giving them the business. So he was probably like, all right, let me overstep a little bit to account for the fact that I'm not as athletic as this guy. So once he overstepped that one time, Eddrick Houston detected it. Made an inside move, nice little club and rip little thing right there. And hey, man, club and swim, I appreciate it. Sorry if I'm mixing up the terms, man, but y'all see what I'm saying. Yeah, they really have him in as an additional blocker like a tight end. I'm curious if he'll ever actually go out there and run a route and catch a pass, but golly, man, look what he's doing to the guy playing his same position. This is the edge rusher of the other team, and this is just not even fair. This is not fair. I love that, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's a transferable skill. That type of strength and stuff is a transferable skill, man. I love to see it. Where was he on this play? I didn't even notice where he was. I'm not gonna lie. Was this him right here on the inside? Yeah, I like the fact that he keeps his head up, man. He's so naturally talented, but at the same time, he's a smart player. He's keeping his head up and looking for the ball. He's not just going up the field and running past the play. That's one thing that irritated me, man, especially couple of years ago with Chase Young and Montez Sweat, boy, they will run past the play, dog. They're doing everything they can to just beat the guy in front of them and not looking for the ball, and they would just run completely around the quarterback, go all the way outside of the pocket to where their pass rush doesn't even matter. Eddrick Houston isn't like that. But isolated from this, I love the technique. I love the hands. He has moves, man. This guy has moves. And I haven't seen him miss a tackle yet, man. Once he gets those claws on you, getting probably like a 7-foot wingspan. You can't teach 7-foot wingspan. That's just what you're born with it or not, man. There's nothing you can really do. We got him on offense again. Again, just going back to the oh my God, he just blocked 2 people that play. Oh my Lord, he took out 2 people for his offense. Oh my Lord, and then this is him on the edge. And that strength is crazy. You see active hands there. Not as technically sound as a couple of plays ago that I was really blushing over, but that's still active hands, because that's not just strength. If he's just bulldozing the guy, just straight bull rush with no hand usage, not trying to get his hands off him. You see him extending his arm right here, trying to get the guy off of him so he can take control of the situation. And that's one thing Eddrick Houston does a great job of. Not only does he have great ball get off, he does a better job of getting his hands on the offensive lineman than the offensive lineman does get the hands on him, like we showed earlier, like we discussed earlier. And that allows him to control the play from here on out. He's controlling the offensive lineman rather than the offensive lineman controlling him. And look at the offensive lineman asking for help. Eddrick Houston getting rid of this man and going to make the play against the run. I love that dive too. I love that effort, because he didn't have to do all of that. Again, the motor, the effort is insane right now. I absolutely love this kid. Please commit to oh my Lord. Did you just get juked like a running back? Oh my God, you missed my guy. The footwork is insane. Now we got to talk about the foot. Just look at the feet. Look at that was smooth. That was smooth, especially since he's what? How big is my guy, man? My guy is 6'3", 255 pounds, and able to juke out an offensive tackle. He didn't have to use his strength. It didn't really take much ball get off. He literally Barry Sanders the offensive lineman. Oh my Lord. Oh yeah, that's deadly right there, man. That's kind of unfair when you it's kind of unfair. We got another blocking play, man. Yeah, we probably won't stick around for this whole like 10 minutes of this clip right here. But yeah, man, I just like seeing Eddrick Houston make. Okay, there we go. Oh, he didn't get that up. But okay, nice hands. I mean, that's a transferable skill to defensive end, defensive tackle. Again, 3 tech, 5 tech, even nose. He's not gonna play nose guard for Georgia at the college level, but it's just the fact that he has the versatility to do that. Again, this is the IQ. This is the heads up play right here. Because what was that? What was that? What just happened? First of all, let's look at everybody ignored him. Again, his ball get off is too great. You're not gonna get away with bringing somebody over to try to step in front of him before Eddrick Houston gets going. He's just one of those guys. The ball get off is too explosive. This guy has absolutely no chance. I don't even know why teams are still drawing this up. Let's just try to bring a pulling guard or some random guy to slide over. Like, my boy Eddrick Houston is clearly at the 5 tech. They try to bring the center over to block him. His ball get off is too great for this offensive lineman, no matter who it is. yeah, for him to be able to slide over and be able to get in front of Eddrick Houston before Eddrick Houston is able to penetrate, that's just not fair. Come on, I don't even know why these coaches are putting these guys in these situations, man. High school coach needs to be fired for that one, bro. That irritated me just now, because that's not even the center's fault. Like, you can't even ask him to do that, especially against an Eddrick Houston. And I just noticed, I don't know what happened, but we lost our little tracker. We had it for a little bit, but I mean, at this point, man, it's really nothing new for me to say, dog. Like, we've already looked at all of the great traits. At the end of the day, man, I'm just hoping he commits to Georgia, dog. I mean, again, I think KJ Bolden, he's probably on the way. I think Eddrick Houston may even be on the way as well. I'm really excited, man. I hope we get all of these guys, especially these in-state guys. Sammy Brown, hey, good to you, man. Good luck out there. But, yeah, hey, I guess we'll see you in the playoffs if Clemson makes it. But hey, man, I'm not mad at him because it was a good decision for him. My boy Brooks Austin does a great job of breaking down film, and he brought up a good point that Sammy Brown is more of like a vertical speed type of guy. He doesn't have necessarily like the greatest hips. He's not very agile side to side speed. He's more track guy, run forward, that's it. He doesn't have elite quickness and agility and things like that. And Georgia asks you to do a lot of like agility as a linebacker, like Smile Munden and Dumas Johnson, all of those guys. They have elite agility. They have to be able to move at a change of a dime and at the blink of the blink of an eye and things like that. You need to be able to go ahead and shift over here, weird angles. Everything isn't just so straight left, right. There's in between angles. There's 36-degree angles, 85-degree. Like, Georgia expects you to be able to do all of that. Clemson doesn't necessarily. And I know this is an Eddrick Houston film session, but I did want to point that out. Again, if you don't follow Brooks Austin everywhere on Twitter, YouTube, you're missing out. Subscribe to his Patreon, all of that type of stuff, man. But I just wanted to point that out. I wanted to congratulate Sammy Brown, but also for those of y'all that are Georgia fans that are more than likely watching this, I want y'all to know that, hey, don't get too mad at Sammy Brown, because even though he went to a lesser team and he left his hometown team, which is Georgia, but you never know, maybe he grew up a Clemson fan, because he's only like less than an hour from UGA from Athens, but he's not that far from Clemson either. Y'all gotta remember, Clemson is like really close to Georgia and South Carolina. It's further than Athens, but it's still like not that far. It wouldn't be crazy if he grew up more of a Clemson guy anyway. And they've been recruiting him longer than we were. They were like the first on it and things like that. They were the first visit. I'm not surprised. But again, I just wanted to dive into like why he made the decision. It wasn't necessarily about winning. It was about the defense that can utilize him the best. And I feel like he would have been exposed a little bit in Georgia's defense, because again, he's not a very agile guy. I still think he would have been a great player here, but he may be a better player for Clemson. He's not going to win as many games. He's not going to win as many championships at all. I don't even think he thinks that. But you know, it was a good decision. It was a good individual decision. Team wise, definitely not. But individual, I can't be mad at him. And you know what Dabo Swinney does. He probably did some crazy stuff under the table to give him a little bit of extra motivation to go ahead and commit now, rather than doing the rest of your visits. The fact that he canceled all his visits is crazy. But yeah, man, Eddrick Houston, man, I'm so excited, dog. Please commit to G. Commit to the G, man. Commit to Georgia. I mean, if we could just add this to our already crazy room. Y'all know how high I am. Well, y'all don't know, but if you know my Street Scores page, even though it's a Commanders page, I talk about Georgia a lot on there. Really high on Michael Williams, of course, on the edge. You saw what he did even just against Paris Johnson in the playoffs. But also, I'm really high on Damon Wilson, who we brought in, who we flipped from Ohio State. I think he's going to be able to contribute immediately. He was doing things in that spring game that's amazing. And I think Eddrick Houston comes in and will probably fight for playing time even as a freshman. Even with Damon Wilson and all these guys ahead of him, Michael Williams, I think Eddrick Houston is just too talented. If you want to play him at 5-tech, 3-tech, either way, he should be on the field at least a little bit. And you know, Georgia, especially with the way our schedules have worked out, which aren't our fault, but we go against a lot of easy teams, and we're going to probably be up by 40 points by halftime anyway. So at that point, let's just go ahead and throw Eddrick Houston out there as a freshman in the 2024 season, and let him go out there and get some meaningful snaps and dominate and play like a quarter or two, because we're up by so many points and things like that. So, hey, man, I'm really excited, man. His talent is ridiculous. Again, only reason I care about the offensive side of things is the transferable skills. I mean, this blocking stuff, even the hands with catching the ball, that's transferable in a way. Now, you prefer to see elite defensive plays like what's probably coming up now. Oh, yeah, keeping his head up. Eddrick Houston, proof that he could two-gap. Proof that he could two-gap right there, because if he wanted to beat this lineman a little bit sooner. Oops, I skipped ahead. Ooh, my Lord. What just happened? Okay, yeah, it is. All right, so we're back. Because if he wanted to, he probably could have beat this. Is that the tackle or the guard? I think that's the card. Either way, he could have gotten, I mean, the way that he's winning the hand battle, if he wanted to get rid of this guy sooner, he could have. But at the same time, he's like, wait a minute, is the ball carrier gonna come back inside? I need to be ready for that. But instead he goes outside. I'm ready for that too. I can get rid of this guy anytime I want to, and he's able to make that 2-gap work. And hey man, if you can 2-gap coming out of high school, Kirby Smart is gonna love you. Period, man. Hey man, we gotta bring this guy in. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section, let me know how you feel about everything discussed in this video. Please leave a like on this video if you liked it, if you learned anything. Of course, I need to work on getting monetized on this channel, so we'll worry about donations and sponsors and all of that later. But for now, make sure y'all just support the content by subscribing, like the video, get in the comment section, let me know how you feel about everything discussed in this video about the potential of Eddrick Houston joining Georgia. Are you excited about him? Do you also feel like he will? Do some of y'all have insider information that I don't have that's pointing to the fact that he more than likely will, even more likely than I think? Let me know how you feel about all of this being discussed in the video in the comment section. And again, I'm trying to come out with daily content for Street Scores U as well, so stay tuned. Big time Georgia fan from Atlanta and everything, so I'm really excited to get this channel going. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Until the next video, I'm out.